rosa e una giornata è sola e un'aria serena dopo una tempesta. Quell'aria fresca pare già una festa. Che bella cosa una giornata e sole. Mannaggia sole, più bello in me, oh sole mio, stai in fronte a te. Oh sole mio, sto in fronte a te, sto in fronte a te. Quando fa notte, oh sole se ne scende, mi venne quasi una malinconia. Sotto la finestra e tu restaria. Quando fa notte, oh sole se ne scende.
Bella cosa, una giornata sole, l'aria serena dopo la tempesta. Che bella cosa, una giornata sole.
sometime with this kind of an outlook, if you've had nice times all your life.
Yeah, he took you on some great travels.
Yeah, great travel, just a fellow with a sense of humor. Just to say you had everything, you know? And I was very fortunate for that. And I think that's the reason I'm living so long, to tell you the truth. Of course, they had to bring me out of a couple of catastrophes to live this long, but anyway, I made it. Now let's see what... I'm so happy that I have maintained my mental attitudes up until now. That's what really makes me happy. And if I didn't have them, I probably wouldn't worry about it because I wouldn't know what's going on. I loved makeup. I loved doing all those things. I loved putting creams on. I always put creams on. Never neglected it 1 minute in my life because I think that's what helped my skin.
Definitely.
It really did. And I didn't go out in the sun in our 1918. Who went out in the sun? Nobody did. They knew it was devastating. We had a place in Hawaii, and we would go twice a year. We had in the beginning we had a place that was 3 floors with the porches outside and long stairways to the first floor, second floor, third floor. So he would start in right from the ground floor. When he would come back from the beach, I'd go back a little earlier in order to be able to cook some food. He'd start at the bottom and all the way up, he would say, "Mamma mia, what a spicy meatballs." Every single night he would say that. The neighbors were beginning to think, what kind of a bum is she anyway? That she cooks only these kind of things for that poor man. Mamma mia, what a spicy meatballs. He had such a sense of humor. And so did I. I didn't care what the neighbors thought of him, but they did worry about him, that he had the same thing every night. But he did love Hawaii. You know, the really thing that he loved to do was to go there twice a year. Well, about Peru, well, it was kind of interesting going up and down. Then we got as far as North Peru, all of that. But when we were on those buses, and of course we always took the clankiest buses you ever want to take, because otherwise it'd be expensive. And I was sitting down on one of the benches in the bus, and somebody came in with something that was. You weren't allowed, condemned, and you weren't allowed to have it. So these people, because they knew they would be searched, they're trying to give it to me, and they're pushing it over to me, and I'm pushing it back to them. No, just a few minutes. I pushed it right back to them because they wanted me to get arrested. Can you imagine that? And I was really angry with those people. But I thought, well, they want to get away with something. They want to take this where they're going, and they don't want anybody to stop them. But they don't mind stopping a visitor, and get in real trouble.
That's right.
Oh, Lord, yeah. There were some times when going on these cattle buses that my husband would have me travel in, It was not like it was a luxury travel. At any time. I became real tough because, before that, I was raised to be a lady, just sit, look nice and all that. All of a sudden, I married this guy. We're in these cattle buses, and what a change.
So no fancy hotels.
No, 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 no. I worked for Nate Coughlin, one of the foremost criminal lawyers in San Francisco. And the reason I got into that office was that my boyfriend was going to what was he going to? Oh, he's going to law school. And he said, you know, if you want to be a secretary, I go to this law office, and then you would come in and be the secretary. So he brought me to Nate Coughlin's office, and Nate Coughlin was fascinated with me. He was a poet. He loved poetry, and when you went into his office, there's his desk, but he had no files. There were files, you could hardly see him behind the desk. His files were all on his, they were not on the wall, they were all on his desk. And when he needed something, he had these delicate fingers. He would go in and pick out just the one he wanted. Well, he said, you know, Virginia, I would not allow these criminals to come in here when you're here in the morning. You will have to come in later, and they would have to come in earlier. So sure enough, he had it all arranged when these criminals were brought from San Quentin to his office, where I would come in after they left. And he would say, I want to tell you something, Virginia. You are a rose in an ebony bowl with the black hair. A rose in an ebony. I thought, oh my God, isn't that pretty?
It's gorgeous, gorgeous effort.
It's one of the most famous climbs in San Francisco. Hundreds pass by every day.
Shower time.
And yet few know the story behind the most beautiful stretch along the way.
There's nothing I'd rather do.
Everything's coming up, roses. 95-and-a-half-year-old Elios Andy Androlini moves slowly these days, but why be in a hurry?
I didn't even fall. Isn't it miraculous?
He and his wife, Virginia, of 67 years, have few priorities beyond tending their 60 or so varieties of roses.
I go out and tell him what I think he should do, but he doesn't listen too much.
This has been Andy's labor of love since the 70s.
I promised her a rose garden when we got married. I didn't get around to it for 30 years.
As a high-powered attorney in North Beach, Andy never had time to stop and smell the roses.
He was into law and didn't have any time for the house. So out here we had nothing but clay.
Once retired, he decided to try his hand at a hobby he knew nothing about.
First year they were not that good, but then you see this gorgeous thing growing and you just fall in love with roses.
One variety gets monotonous. It's the fact that you can get a mixture of a deep red, England Bergman with Paradise, which has a little violet in it, and Blue Moon, is blue, so that you get a variety of colors.
This is French perfume, and this is the Mikado over here. Look at the color in there.
Along the way, he invented his own tools. Well, sort of.
This is a fork on a broomstick, and I'm trying to get it patented, see, because I use that to get in between these bushes and when the leaves fall off. And they said, no, the fork was invented a long time ago.
Now, on average, 300 people a day pass by on their way to Quint Tower.
You can put up a lot of public works stuff, but in my mind, nothing takes place of just a beautiful rose garden like that. It's phenomenal.
Andy has only one hard and fast rule with his roses.
We don't pick them. As a matter of fact, Andy does not want me to pick roses because that's for the garden and that's for tourism.
Why cut them and let them die in the vase?
So the next time you're exploring San Francisco, slow down, smell a few roses, and take time to enjoy the journey.